It's a weird thing. No matter how many times I do this one video, I have to do it again. I screw it up every single time. My one video, of the other 50 videos I did, I didn't retake them at all. One video I retook because I'm talking about ruining the world and the galaxy and all that stuff was this thing. I thought these penguins bolted into these bolts right here, bolted into the engine block. They go through this plastic coil pack, obviously. Thought they were going to the engine block. It looks like they go into this plastic air intake gizmo. It's not too hot. Maybe beneath it they go into the engine block. Hence, I still don't know. That's why I said it's a 50-50 gamble for 50 cents. Which path you take will destroy yourself, your car, your mechanic career, the population of the Earth, and 1/3 the Milky Way galaxy. I said I didn't know where to find it on YouTube, but I retook the video and at least I said it's just a 50-50 gamble given the stupidity of the world. The other thing I retook was this, because WD-40 wore out in 2 weeks. I sprayed this Yip Yap on it, PB Blaster, white lithium grease. It lasted exactly one time, opening and closing this thing, and it stopped working. I don't know how to fix this. I'm gonna fix that video. I'm not gonna take it again. And now for this video, the electric video, finding a short. Many times I've retaken this only because I don't want to screw up someone's electrical system. It's like impossible, man. I put things together. Electricians do not know which way the electricity flows through a car. Some call it conventional electron flow, which is the old-fashioned type, which what people used to think, which is from the plus to the minus. Then someone discovered, not too long ago, that actually the electrons are hobgobbling their way around through the wires, which is like 20 or 30 feet through all the cars at about the speed that a person walks. I'm not just doing this to be weird. And it comes back to here, the little electrons hobgoblins. They are negative charged. It is called electricity, negative charge. It moves from here to the battery. At the same time, the positive charge, the positive current, which is just either a magnetic pulse, a magnetic wave, or nothing at all, but it must be a thing because the speed of it's been measured, moves in exactly the opposite direction of these things. Maybe they pass each other in the wires, flip each other the finger, who knows. These guys, this thing, this magnetic force, which is called not traditional, this is called traditional electron current, whatever I just said, that's what it is. This is called electric current, because it's the little electrons with their negative charge going to here, and that is called electricity and electric current, and that is the new definition of electric current, but only half the electricians agree on it, because meanwhile the actual charge, whatever that means, the magnetic thing, goes this way at exactly the same speed as these little guys go this way, not the same speed, at exactly the same volume as these guys, these little hobgoblins, electricity. Electrons go this way, and it's called charge and electricity, and it goes from the negative to the plus through all the wires at the same volume. The positive electric charge balances out and goes back here. They pass each other in the wires, they flip each other the finger. Although this one makes a full loop. When it gets here, it literally, so I've read on the internet, goes through this plastic thing back to here. All the electrons that end up here go nowhere. I don't know why this thing doesn't just like get filled up with electrons or whatever. But basically speaking, beneath all that BS and what I said wrong in the other videos, this direct current is a direct multi-directional current. It's not alternating. It's a direct current happening in two different directions. Although this one, the positive charge gets here and then literally somehow goes across this plastic thing that's inside the battery and back to here again over time. And then it's time for it to happen again. This current, not traditional current, they're the opposite, would you believe it, is going on and on forever. And that's the one you hear about from plus to minus, but it's not a thing. What the actual, I said traditional current goes on and on and on forever. Actual current, which is the electrons and have electric negative charge, and is just called regular current, more common word, goes like this one time until the electrons go like that. Diffuse them and make them do it again. Somehow they pop up here again. No one has said how. Somehow electrons pop up here again and they go, hey, let's go over to our positive. But they stay here, they don't come back out, and then suddenly there are more electrons here, they go like this. Meanwhile, the entire thing is moving in both directions at once, at all times. So anyone who says it goes this way, or it goes this way, they're all wrong. And if it's not alternating current either, because it's it's the same time, it's not alternating. It's a direct, double direction current like that. When I'm going like this, I'm talking about the shape of all the wires to the tail lights and everything, for every little thing back to here again, I'm talking about electric. Back to here again, I'm talking about charge. The loop goes through the fuse box. Now here's how to find short. Even though no one knows which way the short is going, how to find the short is this. I take a test light, connect it to plus and minus to make sure it's working, it lights up. Then I take the test light, I connect it to the minus, whichever one that is on your battery, and whichever fuse, well, if your car is just stalled and it's electrical, you will take the plus terminal off, take it a foot away, take the test light, connect it to the plus terminal of the battery and the big plus wire, and it will, if it lights up when your key is off, then there is a parasitic short or a short that's there at the moment, maybe right when your car broke down, something shook, the wires moved. You have that light on, leave it on, leave your key off, but leave that light, the key should be off for this light to be not supposed to be on, but since it is on, then it's a parasitic short. If it just happened in your car, make sure the key's off or that this light's on, then the short is going on. Then wiggle some wires, see if it makes the light flicker, and you can figure out where it is or what fuse it is. And if you can't, you can start pulling out fuses, but that will only work if the fuse hasn't blown. When you finally figure out where it is, and then look up on the internet which fuse does that, and you look at that fuse and the fuse is blown or whatever, or you do the test and you find out which freaking fuse is blown, you can touch the little dots on the fuse. Then you take out, then you finally know what fuse it is that's causing the short. Then you take out said fuse. Then you do this trick. I'm doing your two tricks now, how you easily check for a parasitic short when you stop with the plus wire and the plus terminal. First you check your test light in 2 seconds, then you check the parasitic thing by the plus whatever wire, the plus terminal. And you do that stuff, find which fuse is bad, take that fuse out, make sure the fuse is broke, you know what that's the fuse, put the fuse aside somewhere, and then take your test light again for my stupid Chinese trick, last 50-cent trick. Attach the test light, all this is done with a test light, and I must clean your hands with 50 cents of orange goju when you're done. That's the price of this. Attach the test light to the negative terminal of the battery, need not unplug it. Attach it to one side of whichever fuse is bad. When it, did I do that wrong? No, whichever side of the fuse is bad, one of these two sides is still hot, it's going through the plus wire directly into the plus, or if you're talking about electrons, it's going this way and through this thing, or it will be when the fuse is back. But either way, there's a loop. It's connected to the plus already, and you are finding out where is the plus, which side of this is the hot plus side, which is connected to the plus either way, probably. And then take the other side of the test light and touch it here, and you will figure out which side of this is so-called the hot side, the active side. Then you know this is the active side, and therefore the other side is the loop side, which you want to complete the loop. Then you take the test light off this thing, attach it to the plus, put it on the continuing loop side, attach the whole thing somewhere so it won't fall down, maybe put this door on it, use your creativity, and then you have the loop reconnected, you have the short restarted, which is your risk. The short is now restarted, the fuse was supposed to protect you from that short ruining your stuff, but you have the short restarted, the loop restarted, the light stopping it from being too extreme because the light's got some resistance in it, so the light doesn't even burn out when you touch it from plus to minus. Light will give you some resistance, it'll give you a better chance of not ruining your entire car. And then you have the circuit restarted, and then you start wiggling wires gently after you put this all in place. Don't rock your car, don't knock it out of place. Wiggle wires here or there until you make the light go on and off. Once you find the wires that make the light go on and off, hold down one part of the wire, wiggle the other. Well, it's held down, wiggle this part of the wire. Does that make the light flicker on and off? No. Then hold down, wiggle this part of the wire. In real life, you'll have two hands, you won't be filming a YouTube video. And then, once you feel, oh, it's over here, do the same thing. It's over there, point down there. And finally, feel this, that, and the other until you're wiggling some wires. You see a little spark, a tiny little spark wishfully, and then you have found this short and save yourself $200, $300, whatever on earth, whatever mechanic can tell you, depending on how much they like you, how smart they are or not. Maybe I said that right this time, probably not, because every time I do it, I get it wrong. It's hard to get what all the people have said on YouTube about traditional current, plus to minus, standard new current, minus to plus, electron current, minus to plus, electricity, minus to plus, negative current to here, magnetic fork going this thing in a loop, this thing in a one-way deal, and no one knows why the electrons don't disappear over here. The only thing I'm sure is that when they pass each other on the wire, since obviously whenever the electrons go somewhere, whenever one goes somewhere, the other goes to the other one. So I guess that one of them doesn't like the other one. And then when the hyper one stops moving, the other one says, yeah, maybe they're okay, and then they go back and then they join again. And that's why all of a sudden there's charged electrons once again mysteriously in the negative side of the battery, which also no one on YouTube has bothered to say, or Google has bothered to say how that happens either. They don't say how these electrons pile up forever and there's no problem. They do say they never leave, and they don't say how they get back here again, because they're there again ready to do this thingamajig. They don't say anything, man. They just yip-yapping with big words a lot. But anyway, I showed how to fix the short regardless of which way it's going or what's happening or why it's impossible to figure out on YouTube. Or why the electricians don't know what electricity is and they haven't come to an agreement on traditional current or currents, which are the opposite. I'm pretty stupid too, man. I just oiled that hose and put it on a YouTube video, which was erased luckily, but it only worked for one time. I was saying you use this grease, it's thicker, it'll work. No,